With the Washington Metro facing a $210 million funding gap heading into the next fiscal year, some big changes could be coming around the region, including in Maryland. But on Tuesday, riders concerned with possible cuts raised their voice.
I'm so upset, and I don't like this proposal.
A public hearing with Metro leadership allowed for their worries to be heard, including over the possible closing of the Grosvenor-Strathmore station, one of 22 that could possibly close as part of the 2022 budget plan.
Getting to those other stations isn't exactly easy.
The drastic cuts come as the Metro says rail ridership has plummeted around 90%, while bus ridership has fallen 60% since the pandemic spread to the region. Now, the next budget calls for increases in time between trains, rail service ending at 9 p.m., and the elimination of dozens of bus routes.
So whatever you can do, please bring back that B30.
If you eliminate the bus service, you don't have no way to get around.
Board member Michael Goldman offered some hope during the hearing, saying over $30 billion tied to the American Rescue Plan set aside for transit could help the region avoid the cuts. For now, riders hope some solution can be found before more drastic choices may need to be made.
Just try to think about who you will be affecting when you come to these decisions.
Tom Dempsey, WUSA 9.